Heart always racing but never lost. Hello? I was the illest nigga on child support. Now I'm looking.
This shit is so cool. I'm so cool for that. I'm so cool for that. Alright, so back in here after some sleep, new day, new ideas. So there's still adjustment that I want to do to this, but one thing that I was kind of fucking around with this morning was how are we gonna light this thing up? Because layers and channels and all of that, I have ideas. But before that, I was trimming on this, pointing out my letters and things like that, and I was like, okay, this is getting to be close to where it needs to be by the time you factor in the thickness of the paint and everything like that to make sure that those will still stick or fit. The thing is, with where it is and this being raw metal, the holes are slightly larger than they need to be, and thus I run the risk of dropping any of these three into the abyss of this quarter panel, and I will never see them again. So I think the first thing I need to do today is actually take this panel bond and attempt to drop it, shoot it down in that way. So again, on the 38, when I did that, I cut the whole thing out and I made a ledge that was right there. So I made a metal ledge so that nothing could ever fall, into it. It was serviceable and all that. Right. Well, I'm not doing that here. I don't want to. So I'm gonna try to squirt panel bond down in there, not behind it, so to speak, but literally kind of glob it up about here to make another ledge or another place where I can actually, not drop shit, or if I do, it's easy enough to retain, even though it had to be a hell of a game of operation. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna do that, or use, I think there's expanding seam sealer that I can use as well, that I can certainly put in there, and then that will just, expand, and then I can just kind of carve it out of the way of what I need to do. I don't know. I'm gonna go visit my body shop buddies in the paint supply store and see what I can find out. And yeah, that's where we're at so far. I'm liking this. Yeah, that's wiping some of it off. It's gonna continue to expand for a little bit. I just need to make sure that my channel from there to here stays clear. I have ways to make sure that stays so, but yeah, I'm gonna let this dry. Yeah, that's gonna expand. I might, while it's still kind of wet, go and dig some of it out. Again, I only want it to be down here. So, yeah. All right, so this is after cutting, going with the Dremel and filing, and then getting just down to bare metal because the paint around it was kind of messing with me and my ability to see, how crisp the lines were. So we're very close. You see here on the two, little wavy up top. The one could use some squaring off. The V could use some adjustment. Great. That is why I got this, which is my little file, smallest one I have. I can go in there and do all of that fun stuff with this. This is really the best thing to use. The Dremel will get the general shape. That was all done with the Dremel. But we need to go in there with something actually flat and flatten this stuff out. But the characters fit great. I have tool to the light. That looks great. It's a very small space back there, but it fits snugly at that. And so yeah, I'm gonna file this down and report back. Been working on the some of the optics a little bit as far as stretching of light or moving of light. Also been detailing the edges a little bit more with the file. So, fifth guy. so they can get a little bit straighter, because the difference between, you know, the stainless steel and then the steel of the body is a very, very thin strip of light, which is the point. But that also means that it has to be very smooth. It cannot have like jagged, you know, edges. Like, look at the front of that 2 right there in the bottom corner. That's gonna have to be worked out. Like, sure, you can go here, but I want it to be from any angle that you look at it, it's perfect. And I say that because on the E38, I made a mistake. In that, when I was cutting the pearl has a tendency to reflect like at certain angles, if that makes sense. And when I cut it, you know, the different characters, I had it turn different ways because it's, I don't know, it just shows like the level of thought. And I completely missed this because on the passenger side, I didn't have that problem. So the fact that, again, it takes you walking all the way by it to recognize that, you know, what it is, because from, you know, certain, like where I'm sitting right now, it's just white. So to have that pearlescent effect, you know, at the right times of visibility is important. It's an important detail. So with this, say like where I'm sitting at right now is about the level that I'd be sitting at if I were in another car, right? So if I'm sitting next to the 8 in traffic and I look over and I see like these jagged lines that when you stand up, you won't see. But the thing is, you have to consider all the conditions in which the car would be viewed or the car would be experienced. So that's why I want it to be good from every single direction. And I learned this really a long time ago when I used to draw a lot more. Like, I would sit at the table at my desk really in class at school, and I would draw really close up. Not because I couldn't see, I just was comfortable fucking like resting my hand like on the head here and then drawing. The problem is with that perspective, when you stand up or when you look at the picture square on, you can see that the perspective is fucked up because it doesn't look right until you tilt it, and then it's like, oh, now things are proportional. I learned that a long time ago. And again, with the Pearl, I didn't think about the fact that using 2 different sheets when I did the V and the 1 to 2 that are going to be at the same orientation, that you wouldn't be able to see them at the same time because of that. So perspective is important, and it's important to get lots of perspective before, you know, just deciding or, you know, moving forward with full speed or full steam, assuming that that one perspective is the only one. That looks good on a solid color. That is lovely. That is lovely.